All right. Sorry, just getting some things figured out here. Run a little late for my 8 o'clock live stream, but essentially, this live stream is going to be all about breaking down the latest uh, house hacking, latest houses that have hit the market, and just as far as multifamily, so families that are coming together, buying properties, whether that's parents selling their place and their adult kids are renting, they pool their funds together, or potentially two condos. Maybe you have a couple that owns a condo and another couple that owns a condo. And what would it look like if you were to buy a house together? And then there's the just renting and renting. So two people renting versus buying a house. What does that all look like? So bear with me for like 2 seconds here as I get the screen figured out here. Let me just move this over. There we go. And so for those who don't know me, my name is Richard, local realtor here in Mission, and our office is in Abbotsford, and myself and my business partner, we service the Fraser Valley as a whole. And my hope with this is just to invite people to come on, ask questions, talk about the market. And so usually I talk about the market, what's going on, but today I wanted to change it up a little bit. I've been working on a spreadsheet here, an Excel spreadsheet, just to break down numbers, because practically, what does it look like to house hack, or what does it look like to buy a house together? And a lot of times it's like there's this fantasy or this idea of that, of what it could be. And you hear myself talking about, you hear myself explaining it, but sometimes it doesn't click, or it doesn't. The idea to like actually doing it is too far fetched. So I wanted to break down the numbers more on a practical side of things and seeing what it can be. And so I appreciate whoever decided to join this morning or watch it later, because it's going to be posted to YouTube. I have a YouTube channel that's just posting all my live content. And with that said, I want to, Allison, welcome, Allison. Habib, welcome. Nicholas, nice to see you. Nice to see you here watching. And yeah, let's just load some of this stuff up. So I've, for a way to easily find new properties that have hit the market, that have a house with a suite, that have a house with 2 suites, or that have a house with a coach house or a duplex, I built out this website called househacking.ca. Obviously, it's got, stuff that's happening here in the Fraser Valley, house hacking. It's got my face here, a little bit of description of my background, and then a little bit more in regards to house hacking. And then, we have a couple searches that have been made already. And so if you were to click on one of these, you'd find houses, right? So if we click here, houses with coach houses. And this is going to be throughout the entire Fraser Valley. And so, again, I want to find homes that have come up recently, right? So basically, this is a great website just to find out if you're looking for homes like this, that you can go find them on here. And it's not just, again, houses with coach houses, it's houses with duplexes, suites, 2 suites, all things that I'm a huge advocate for. And so I haven't done any homework ahead of time. I'm literally just scrolling through here using my own website and just to see what has come up. So this one here looks interesting. And so what I'll do is just open it up here. And where is this exactly? And the whole idea is just to look at some of these newer homes and then give an example of what could happen here. Satellite mode. So it's probably, just on the north side of proper Chilliwack. Let's get rid of that. But how's everybody doing this morning? Doing good? We doing good? So I'm just kind of reading through here, trying to find out what kind of home is this property, right? Includes a 1-bedroom, 1-bath coach and a 2-bedroom and 1-bedroom suites with laundry with separate entrances. So this one's really interesting, actually. It's got a few things going on here. So let me just actually, I'm gonna pop over this other screen. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna log in on this other side here. So this is the back end of basically what realtors have access to. And so a lot of times, my website there, you got to sign up for some stuff to get more of the information, which, hey, by all means, have at it. But I always like to just look at the data here as well. So we got 3 kitchens. Let's just look through the pictures here. All right, newer home. What is it now? Basically a brand new home. What does it say here? GST applies. Okay, it's good to know. $7,000 a month. Wow. Let's open this up again. And so a house like this, there could be multiple things you could do here. The one that I would almost always gravitate towards is your parents, or maybe you're the parent, and the house is getting a little older. You're thinking of downsizing. You have some adult kids that maybe have kids of their own that they're also thinking of buying because they're renting right now and they're struggling to get into the market. Well, what you can do is sell your property and then buy a property like this, and essentially reduce your collective monthly costs. So what you have is your parents, or you as a parent, have a cost to owning your home. Your adult kids have a cost of renting. Collectively, let's say it's $6,000 a month. And then buying a house like this, wow. Okay. I'm gonna have to redo all that, but I just realized I'm not even sharing my screen. I'm just yapping away here. So I'm going to go back and backtrack because that's, that's fun. But anyways, that's unfortunate. So if you've been tagging along, here is the actual website that I was talking about, househacking.ca, right, where I talk about all things multifamily living. And the more important part, what I was showing you, is that there's a couple different searches, predetermined searches. You have a house with a suite, house with 2 suites, house with a coach house, and multiplex. And so if you're looking for a spot where you can just have predetermined searches, because I think for the most part you can do it through realtor.ca. I think there's a couple different options you got to pick. But what you can do is just log onto my website here. And so what we were looking at is houses with coach homes. And we went to the most recent because, again, what we're doing here is looking for homes that have come up in the last week to basically do a breakdown or some sort of house hacking analysis on them. And so this is the property right here out in Chilliwack, kind of northern Chilliwack. Let me just zoom out here. Satellite. So, we have proper Chilliwack, Sardis, Promontory, right? So it's up in there. And I was wanting to log it into Paragon here, which is the back end that realtors have access to. And I'm going to pull some information from this. So what I'm going to do here is double screen this. And so for those of you who've watched this a few times, I've created this Excel spreadsheet basically to break down. Here, I'll just load it up bigger so you guys can see it all. Basically, some instructions up top here. They have the house and the rental, and this could be parenting adult kids, but this could be multiple of different people. Maybe it's a good family friend that you know that owns a place, and then you're renting, or maybe an older grandparents. And so there's a couple different options here, but in this scenario, you have a house, somebody owns a house, somebody's renting. Most times it works best when it's the parents and the adult kids. And then what you do is you figure out the costs. Let me just move this over. You figure out the costs of what the house is costing them per month. Then you figure out the cost of the rental. And then what we're going to get into is you figure out the cost of that multifamily house. You know, and a lot of times there's an extra rental unit, or maybe even not, but you just want to figure out the cost of that. And this is something I've added recently as well, is that by living together, there's certain expenses that you are going to have the same of. And so, you know, you have internet, both of you are going to have internet, both of you are going to have most times cable, both of you are going to have some sort of streaming service, maybe a Costco. I just put some examples here, right? And this is on a monthly basis. You know, you might be able to share in grocery bulk buying, you know, maybe carpooling. Like I put built-in babysitter, you know, if you have your parents and then you as the adult kids can go out and the parents can just, you know, there's a lot of benefits to having, you know, two people in one household, especially when it's family. And so there's a couple blank spots that items can be added depending on your situation. And so again, if you want this thing, just let me know. I can send it to you. But we're going to be using this today. And there's a couple different tabs. One for, you know, two people who each person owns a condo, or each couple owns a condo and they want to buy a house. And then the last one here, there's just two renters and then they buy a multifamily house. And then ultimately it's like the results. What happens as a result? Like how much money you're actually saving. And so I was playing around with this the other day. And so it was actually more expensive to buy the house by $150 a month. But then because of the shared savings that you have by living together, you know, it's almost like a positive. So you could be renting somewhere versus owning. There's pros and cons to both of it. And I'll let you decide what's the better. But back to what I was initially talking about, which is this property right here. Craig Bell, this is awesome. Thanks. Hey, I'm glad you could come check it out. Appreciate the encouragement. Appreciate the encouragement, Craig. So again, this is the property here in Chilliwack. Now, what we don't know, sorry, I'm just gonna grab a drink of water here. What we don't know, or what I don't know, let's say, is what your parents, or you as the parent, your house situation, right? And so this example, I'm probably gonna leave most of this the same. Your parents, if you were to sell your place, you know, 980 grand. Equity, again, how much equity you have in the home, I have no idea. Chances are, if you're thinking of downsizing, you have quite a bit of equity in the home. So this is the loan remaining. And now this one here is the current monthly mortgage. Obviously, it's gonna be best just to get that actual number and not go through a mortgage calculator. But if you're just kind of running hypotheticals here, what I encourage is put this information into a mortgage calculator. I always just use TD, no affiliation with these people, just to figure out what their interest is, or their payment. Now, the thing is, they're probably getting closer to, like, it wouldn't be a 30-year. Like, that would be ridiculous. They're probably at, my guess, a 15 to 10, somewhere in there, right? Their interest rate. If they've locked in, well, it depends again if they're variable or not, right? But let's just go off of what you can get today. Get an merge here. This doesn't really matter, but this does. 4%. Now, if they've locked in kind of pre-COVID, they could be anywhere in the 1.5% to 2%. Now, that is going to be switching over here because it's been 5 years. And if you've watched my last YouTube video about the mortgages, there's going to be a mass increase in mortgage renewals over this year and next year. And so we're just going to use rates that can realistic today. And so if we just calculate this, right, we have 20. This is based on the mortgage that they have, right? 4%, which is doable this right now, and a 10-year amortization, because they're probably getting closer to paying off, right? If I were to do 30 years or 25 years, it wouldn't be a realistic number, right? Because we want to find a realistic number when comparing this to the multifamily home. And I want to make this as real as possible. So 28, 30, right? These are kind of my numbers as far as my house. And so, again, if you're talking to your parents or if you're the parent, put these numbers in exactly. There's no strata because you own the house. And then this is where like income produce. Now, chances are your house doesn't have a suite, or maybe it does, and you can put that information in here. But most times the parents don't have a suite, whether they don't want it or just it's an older house. And they just typically those houses didn't have suites in them back in the day. And so the next thing would be to do is to figure out your adult kids, they're renting, how much are they paying for rent? Or yourself, if you're talking to your parents about the situation, you're filling this out, how much are you paying in rent, right? And this is typically about a 2 to 3 bedroom rental. So this is assuming that if you're the adult kid, maybe you have a kid of your own, you need the extra space. So we're going to leave it at that, right? Utilities, content insurance, right? And so you can see collectively, they're paying $6,111 per month between the parents and the kids that are renting right now. And so this is where we're going to load this up. And if this doesn't make any sense, just let me know. Just put in the comments, comment something, and I'm more than happy to explain it to you. But this is the house again that we just found here in Chilliwack. It's new. Appears like it's got 3 kitchens in it. 3 rentals, 6 bedrooms. So there's probably a 3-bedroom, a 1-bedroom, 1-bath coach, and a 2-bedroom coach with laundry, and a 2-bedroom and 1-bedroom suites with laundry, separate entrances. It'd be interesting just to see the floor plan on this. What's the problem? Some of these places don't have. Yeah, it's kind of annoying when they don't have floor plans. Anybody got anything exciting planned today? Anybody? Any takers? What are you guys doing today? All right. So again, we figured out the house and the rental. Now we're gonna go down here. This just hit the market. It's been listed for a while. Nothing new there. A lot of properties are listed for a while. So let's say you offer them. Let's just say you offer them what they're asking. And yeah, 700 grand. Excuse me. 700 grand. That means you need $650,000 mortgage, or the total mortgage needed. And what does that equate to? The projected monthly mortgage. Now again, we're going to go back here. We're going to type in 650. That is common. Now, what you're not going to do is amortize it over 10 years. Most cases, you're probably going to do it over 35 years. Or not 35, 25 years. You could do it longer. Let's see here. We got 34. 34 is called 20. All right, so now we need to pick up some information here. Home insurance, I pay about $2,000. Yeah, and I have a coach house as well. I don't see it being more than like $2,400. Property tax, again, we can see that number right here. Gas, electricity, water. Again, this is based off like my house, which I have a coach house and a main house, so it's quite similar. Just not brand new. But actually, what we forgot to do is this sucker has GST on it. Now there is going to be some exemptions. Adds it quite a bit more. Plus, you got 67,500 in GST. So again, we're just 717.5. Good morning, Joyce. Glad you could be here. Just breaking down some stats here in Chilliwack. Okay, so we got the actual amount. This is all looking good. Now, there's a coach house. There's a coach house in the back of this property, right? Oh, Brad's joining. Bradley, nice to see you, buddy. So, actually, let's do it this way. So I just want to see this layout here. So you get the 1-bedroom coach. My own website's telling me to sign up. That's funny. So this is going to be the basement here. So this is the basement. This is most likely going to be the 2-bedroom basement suite. It'd just be nice to have a floor plan. There's the back of the house, the coach in the back. Yeah, they don't really, it's kind of annoying. So we're just going to have to assume a few things. But based on the description, you got a coach house, which when you go and try and figure out rental costs, let's go marketplace here. Property rentals. This doesn't really, we're 60. Let's just see here what comes up. Is this the same house? That'd be hilarious. So $1,500 for a 1-bedroom. What else we got here? 2 beds, $1,600. 1 bed, $1,400. 1 bed, $1,500. Now again, one of these suites you're going to be picked up by your parents, whether your parents live upstairs and you live downstairs in the 2-bedroom, or vice versa. So the thing we're trying to figure out here is just the coach. It's probably, well, this one here, this is like a coach. Maybe. Interesting. So, we're going to put this at 1,500. basement suites. So it includes a 1-bedroom, 1-bath coach. Well, we got that. A 2-bedroom and 1-bedroom suites with laundry with separate entries. If I'm hearing this right, this thing could have 4 living areas. It'd be insane. I'm not too sure about this 1-bedroom suite though. It could be just like an in-suite. So we're gonna leave it. And so you're gonna have the upstairs to yourself. The downstairs is gonna have a 2-bedroom. The back's gonna have a coach house. And so we're gonna leave that for this situation. Because I could put another rental suite here in rental in this one, but it may not make sense. Could be lying to you. All right, we put in the GST. We got the deposit or the down payment from your. We've gone to the mortgage calculator to figure this out. We've put in this data. We got 1 coach house that you're renting out, and then I imagine that'd be the best case. That way, you as the kids and the parent have the entire house to yourself, which is probably what would happen. It looks like this one has access to another suite. The pictures don't really show it, so I'm assuming it's just like an in-law suite of some sort. So I'm not going to put that in there. And then again, the savings. Right, these are just some generic ones. These may not apply to your situation, but I figure around $220 you can potentially save each month by living together, by sharing in those expenses. I'm just gonna make sure my screen shares. And so what we see here is that when you factor in all the expenses minus the monthly income coming in, you're gonna be paying around $3,086 a month for this house. Brand new house, right? And then this is where we compare the multifamily cost, which is this, versus the home and rental cost, which is this, right? Which is basically this and this combined. And you're saving about $3,000 a month, which is about $36,000. Then if you're in attack on the shared savings of these, you know, you're getting close to $40,000 that you're saving. Now, I guess there's maintenance costs with the home. There's maintenance costs with this home. It's brand new now. This one's gonna be older, so there's gonna be more things that are gonna come due. This is a lot of hypotheticals, and so this is why I would encourage you to do your own numbers. Again, feel free to message me, hey, I want the spreadsheet so I can put my own numbers. Do it. I'll send it to you, no problem. That way you know exactly what this result is, because this is based on close as we can get to reality without like someone raising their hand and say, hey, can you do an example for me? Which again, I'm happy to, just let me know. Or when we do it next week, I can do that again. It's not a problem. So, and so that's the house and the rental buying together. That was kind of cool. I think it's a great property. Really cool, actually. I might have to go check that one out. There's a couple more properties, houses with coach homes. What else do we got here? Floor plan, I love it. Sweet. What am I looking at here? I don't know if this is really, like, where's the bed, bro? It's like, I guess you could put the bed right there. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it. What else we got here? Brooks. So Langley, Brookswood, where I grew up. Is there a floor plan of some sort? Stop that. It's a cool little coach. Oh yeah, a little coach. Side access. So it's like a separate dwelling almost. Not bad. Not too bad. It's how much they want. Ooh. I guess that's what happens when you want to move out to Langley. It's a little more expensive. Let's go back here. See what else we got. Salmon River. Expensive. Abbotsford. Let's see what's going on in Abbotsford here. Let's just put this into the... Might be easier. Because sometimes they have these like floor plans attached. They don't have them in the pictures. Aha. I don't know if you can see that. Head's in the way, maybe. My big old head. Ah, Dave Crop. I've done a deal with him. Great guy. Great guy. Crawl space. So let's see here. Analyze kitchen, living area, bedroom. Perfect. So just an open area again. Where is this? Abbotsford. Or $1,300 to $1,500 a month for that. What else we got here? One kitchen, primary bedroom. That's just so weird. There's a lot of weirdness to this house. 1, 2. Bathroom. Huh. Walking. That is kind of weird. I don't know if I like it either. What else we got? Let's just see here. Townhouse for sale. Why is this in here? I have to sign into my own account here soon. Let's see here. What does it say? No. Someone made an error in putting their data in. Some big shacks. All right, so this one's kind of interesting. May have to go check that one out. What's this one now? Basically all land value. Where's the coach house? I don't know. Do you want to live behind a greenery or a... What'd you call that now? Holy. Greenhouse. That's the word I'm looking for. That's the word I'm looking for. So the last kind of scenario that I want to quickly try here. So house hacking. House was probably just house was a suite, actually, realistically. And so these would be people who own a condo and they're thinking of potentially selling their condo, and then they may know another couple that's in a similar boat where they're sick and tired of the what do you want to call it, the condo life, the strata fees, the listening to counsel and all that fun stuff. And so I'm going to look for a house that would be actually viable for two families or two couples, right? Because to sell both of their condos and buy a detached house together that fits. That would make sense, because sometimes these houses that have suites in them, it's like a really small suite downstairs, and then it's like the entire upstairs, which again is doable. But in a perfect scenario, you would have somewhat similar, like one person's get the one half, other person's get the other half, and life is peachy. So there's this one here. And again, these are just newer houses that have come to the market. I know there's like a ton of houses that you could do this on. But I'm trying to find houses that like people would actually be interested in. Right, none of these dumps. Good old Kevin. Good old Kevin. What do we got here? So, entrance to the house, utility room. So this person downstairs would have 2 bedrooms. Person upstairs would have 3 bedrooms. And what you can do too, it's not like out of the question, is that one person just takes more ownership of the house, or takes this, like the way you'd structure it would, someone would own a little bit more of the house, or would pay a little bit more in the mortgage because they have a 3 bedroom. And that might be the case too, where you have 2 couples, one actually has a kid, the other one maybe doesn't, or is expecting one, or whatever. So the one person needs more space, and so it may make more sense for them to be upstairs where you're downstairs. So let's just look at this property here. Actually, when was it built? 2016, so it's newer. It's 2,500 square feet, which is a good size house, right? It's tenanted and owned, so you'd have free reign. Let's have a look at this thing. I kind of like it. This must be the upstairs. That's the back patio. Right there, looking that way. Nice back patio. Oh, it's decent. It's really nice, actually. 1 bedroom. 2 bedroom. Oh yeah, I got the hideaway. I love it. It's like those studio condos are building now in like Abbotsford and whatnot. They're small. They're like 280 square feet. So this appears to be downstairs. It's a nice little nook there. This is the downstairs kitchen, which is not bad at all either. Backyard. We got some fake grass back there. Right, so you're above ground, which is nice. Both parties can enjoy the backyard. Yeah, I like it. I think this is very doable. Right, so let's do some numbers on this one. So again, this is if you own a condo and you're sick of the condo life and you want to get into a home where you can start kind of run your own show, essentially, this is going to be for you. So again, there's a lot of assumptions that are going to be made here. So the best thing to do is like go put your own data into this thing, right? Because like if I were just to go like this, right, like we got condos all over the place, right? So let's just say like, what's this? This is a 2 bedroom. Sure. Here's one condo. Let's say this is the couple that has a family. They're probably gonna have a 2 bedroom. So you have 509,000. So let's say they get 500,000. And then, oh, we got, I didn't even see it. We got it in the chat here. We got Hyatt Place. What are you trying to show me there? Go, could you? You want me to look at that house? Okay, I'll look at that house right after this. I didn't see your comment there. Maybe just put in the comments there what you want me to look at. Can you howcast this? Oh, buddy, definitely. Okay, let me just finish this one up here. And then, just for those who didn't see it, can you house hack this? Definitely house hack it for you, buddy. So this is Condo 1. Now, equity in your home, this is probably real. I don't know, like, we're just gonna say this is the case here. $300,000. You got a mortgage. 1, 2, 3. 300,000, 4%. It's probably like, you've probably been in there for like 5 years. So you're probably at like a 20 year. So we got $1,800. 18, 12. Right? Insurance on a condo. It's a great question. It's a great question. It's probably less. I don't even know. That's terrible, actually. $33 a month. 50 v 600. Done. Property taxes. Where's that? Where's that sweet? Where are you? 1927. Gas. This is probably all going to be included. Hot water. Or maybe it's electricity. Just gonna put 0. 0. Let's just say it's all included. Strata fees, 353. So you're looking at, now this could be off, right? Okay, don't do that. Stop it. And then let's find another one. One's like a 1-bedroom or something. What's this guy right here? See what this one's all about. I'm trying to be realistic here because oh, it's 55 plus. No, we're not doing that one. We ain't doing that one. What's in here? What is this one all about? This is what we're talking about. All right, now we're talking. Okay, so let's tell this one sells for 360. It's a little bit less equity you have in the home. I don't know. Maybe you got 150K in equity. So you got a $220,000 mortgage. 220,000, 210,000. You're looking at 1868. We're just gonna run the gauntlet on this one. Actually, I'll be able to see here. What are they paying? Property taxes $1,400. 1408. What does it say? Guardian, sewer, water. So gas might not. Well, it depends. It's probably electric. It's probably electric. 275. Self-managed. Ooh, this is kind of cheap. I don't know if this example is going to work now. The condos are too cheap. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a couple variables that like I'm probably not including properly, but this is, I would say, leaning on more in favor of the condos. So now we're gonna go back to this property, and no, this one. So what I want to do, grab this. We're gonna put it in here. Oh, it's probably over here. That's why. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Insurance isn't gonna be that much. I think it's even less than that. Private taxes 4,386. Again, we're just plugging in our regular numbers here. House. How long has it been on the market? Let's see. Just hopped on the market. So they're probably gonna want close to ask. So let's just say you get it for 25K less. No, that's off. I need a 0.75123. Right? And then you have 350 in equity. So you need a $725,000 mortgage. So we're gonna go here, 725. And you're gonna stretch this thing out as far as possible. Might even get away with 30 here, but let's see. We'll just keep it 20. Income, no income coming in. So I don't know if this is going to be in favor of being cheaper. Well, there you have it. More expensive. Don't do it. So there's a couple reasons, well, either way, why you'd want to sell your condos and buy a multifamily home. And then with the savings there, if you were to factor in the savings, it's going to cost you about $1,000 more a month. But then you get a detached house, which again, you kind of have your own freedom in that. So now you could both be owning, more expensive condos to kind of offset this, because essentially it's just going to come down to like how much money you have down payment, right? So if you put more money down, you're not going to have a bigger mortgage, and then you can essentially, it would be closer to what it would be as far as apples to apples. And then you got to decide if it's worth living in your condo, dealing with that, or living in a detached house. You pay a little bit more, but then now you're in a detached house, which is going to appreciate more than your condo would. But as promised, we're going to look at this house here that my friend Chu has put in the chat. I can't even pronounce your name properly. Sikuchu. My apologies. Butchering your name. So let's just see. I wonder if it's for sale. Must be. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Oh, it is. It is. Says I'm nailing it. I love it. Butchering it. You gonna work for me there, buddy? Let's see. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. Thing's lagging. Why are you lagging? Let's just get rid of this page here. We're having technical difficulties here. Technical difficulties. Let's try this again. Just copy that. place we want. Hyatt Place. Oh, I know this area. So let's have a look here. Floor plan. Any floor plans in here? No floor plan. Gotta love that. So we got only 3 bedrooms. It's not that many. The heck does it say here? Sorry, you probably can't even see the thing. Can you? Oh, my head's in the way. I gotta change that somehow. My head's in the way. I'm just reading the description down here. It's not really much like, because the problem is with this property is like there's no. Oh, we got some. Let's get rid of that. Got a bit defender trying to sell me something. There's no. Let's just look at the pictures here. Because for me, it's like, how do you house hack this thing? Right? Obviously, you got parking out front. You can put an RV up front there and rent the space anyways. But there's just really not enough bedrooms. Or like, I guess what you could do, but I don't know if this is a house to do it on. It's like you have 2 couples and they live together, which everybody right away shoots down. What else we got here? It's cool. It's a cool house. I just don't know if this is a house I'd be house hacking on. Right? Because to me, it's like you want to put a suite in this thing, or you want to have like some sort of clear distinction between living areas, so that like maybe if you were to buy this with somebody, you want to have 2 living areas at least. It'd be hard unless there was enough room to put like a coach house on this property, which again, for that price point, it's like, yeah, I'd be curious to know more what you're kind of thinking. Are you wanting to buy this one, or because I think there's like, if you were just to like look at the numbers on this, like from an investment property standpoint, you need so much money down to try and make a cash flow. Like if you were just to put this in this spreadsheet here, kind of, the spreadsheet wasn't really meant for this, but like if you were to put this in, how many days have it been on the market? Let's see here. A long time. Nothing new there. So 2 days on the market, this price hasn't even gone down. So let's just say you get it for 1.3. Right? Like how much you can have down there? Like you need at least 20%. Million, it's like, okay, well, maybe you put down 500 grand, but that's 800K. You'd have to stretch it over 25 years. Like rents in that area, like you're out of pot. Like even if you rent this entire house out, Let's just change this. House. I don't even know if you get $4,000 because it's not even that big of a house. It's like 3 bedrooms. You're probably lucky to get, let's just call it $3,500 if you're lucky. You're $1,500 out of pocket. But then, you're paying tax on that monthly income too, so it's gonna be a little bit less. So with a house like that, yeah, that is the house though, right? Like I'm not looking at the wrong house here this whole entire time. You'd want a house with more bedrooms, right? Obviously, you're getting quite a bit of land, which is nice. It's a decent area. So, I don't know if that answered any questions for you, but I just think this is probably not the proper house to do it. House hacking thing on. Because you'd want, at a minimum, a second kitchen of some sort. And just even looking at the pictures here, like it's just, there's not much I think you can change in here. Right, you get all the bedrooms upstairs. So, guess it's downstairs, living room. It's a nice backyard though. Yeah. What'd you say? So in-laws can't move in. It's perfect. Well, there you go. I was wondering what you're saying about that. Yeah, that's one thing you have to be, I know everybody hates this idea that like living with somebody, not everyone I should say, or hates, a strong word as well. But I do think like if people want to, like, it's unfortunate that homes have gotten so expensive as they have. But in reality, there's going to be things that you're going to have to do if homeownership is an option, or if you're wanting to own a detached property. There's nothing wrong with owning a condo. But I think at some point there's like a level of sacrifice that's going to be needed in order to, make the dream a reality. If owning a home, a detached home, is a reality, like you can do it over a long enough time horizon. But I'm of the mind like, well, if I can save, a bunch of money by house hacking, whether that's, while you're saving money, you're living in instead of renting a 1-bedroom suite by yourself, rent a 2-bedroom. And I know if you have a couple, maybe it's a little bit different. But there's ways you can do to reduce your housing expenses so that you can save up more money, so that you can have enough money for a down payment, so that you can get into a home sooner. Or, which is happening quite often, is literally people talking to their parents, talking to someone who has a bit of equity. In most cases, they're thinking of downsizing. So like, hey, let's kind of use the equity that you have. Let's buy an asset that's going to appreciate even more than the house that they own. Because in most cases, it's going to be more land, bigger house. It's just going to be more. And then your parents can go wherever they want because now you're taking care of the mortgage, you're taking care of the house. And essentially they can live out their life, in the house, give in suite. What's the word I used over here? Built-in babysitter. That's the word I said. But that means you have to be on good terms with your parents or whoever you're buying with. But again, I always look back and I think about the stories that my grandparents told me. And you have the bakery out front, you get the butcher shop out back, you got uncle and aunt living upstairs. Like there was just something, I think, beautiful about that. Just now, don't get me wrong, it's probably hard and tough. But that's what you got to do. So on that note, let me switch over here. On that note, I'm going to shut down the stream because we're over the hour mark. It was a little late, so I've been wanting to do hour-long streams weekly. So if you just looking at the chat here, see if I missed anything. I'm going to be here next week, Saturday morning, 8 o'clock every week. This is where I break down house hacking examples and get into the real estate market as far as what's happening. Again, I've been building out an Excel spreadsheet with all the stats, so you know exactly what's going on. So like in this neighborhood right here, I'll be able to have it where you'll know exactly what the prices are doing in this neighborhood. Have they gone up? Have they gone down? What's the average days on market? Because what's happening in this neighborhood versus what's happening in this neighborhood is completely different things. And the stats that you get are very generic. They're like West Abbotsford is up 3%, or even Abbotsford is up 2%. It's like, well, how about my specific neighborhood? What's going on there? What's happening? Because depending on the type of home and how expensive the home is, that changes everything, right? Whereas a townhome may have gone up 2% last month, but properties, bigger properties, they actually went down because the market, that's just what the market's been going on. So with that said, that's what we're going to get into next week. Again, if you have any properties that I want to break down, such as, you got Coach. I'm not even going to say your name because I'm just butchering it so badly. But if you have any properties that you want me to house hack, just let me know. Send me a message. And again, if you want, let me just show the screen here. If you want this breakdown, just send me an email. I think that there's contacts information everywhere of me. Just Google it, Richard Ensing, and I'll come up. And I can send you this. Play around with it. I'm continually making it better and building it out. This is one that we didn't do. Renter and renter coming together, buying a house. So appreciate everybody coming out, watching. It's always fun to see the comments and the views. So on that note, have yourself a fantastic Saturday. And I am out. See ya.